All right, so you want to build a bot. Well, get ready to dive deep, because the guide you sent is seriously making me rethink my career path. Bot empire, here I come.
You and me both. Right. What I love about this is that it cuts right to the chase. No fluff, just pure bot-building gold.
No kidding. And they hit the nail on the head right away with this whole define your bot's mission thing.
It's like, yeah, bots are cool and all, but what do you actually want it to do? What's the point, right?
Yeah.
You gotta have that figured out or you're just wasting time.
Totally. It's like I wouldn't start building a house without a blueprint. This guide makes sure you've got the right foundation from the get-go.
100%. So let's say you wanted to build a bot for, I don't know, maybe your online store, right?
Perfect example. The guide talks about things like customer service, sales assistance, even tackling those tedious data entry tasks that make me want to pull my hair out.
And the best part is you don't have to reinvent the wheel. They highlight all these pre-built solutions you can customize. It's like, boom, Instant Bot, just add your personal touch.
Speaking of customization, though, this is where my brain starts to short-circuit a little. They mention platforms like ManyChat and Dialogflow and Rasa, and I'm like, where do I even begin?
See, that's what's so great about this guide. They break it all down so you're not just swimming in tech jargon. Like, take ManyChat, for instance. It's perfect for beginners. No coding experience needed. You just drag, drop, and bam, you've got yourself a bot for your Facebook page or Instagram. Imagine never having to answer another FAQ again.
Oh, the possibilities. But let's say I'm ready to level up my bot game, you know? What if I want something that can handle voice commands or analyze data like it's no big deal?
Now you're talking my language. That's where things get really interesting with platforms like Dialogflow. It's powered by Google's AI, so you know it's the real deal.
So I wouldn't need to be some kind of coding ninja to create a bot that feels like it's got a brain of its own.
Nope, not at all. Dialogflow is surprisingly user-friendly, especially considering how much power it packs. You can build a bot that not only understands what your customers are asking, but can actually pull data from your systems to give them personalized recommendations. I mean, how cool is that?
I can already see the headlines. Local entrepreneur creates bot army, takes over customer service industry.
I like the way you think. But yeah, it all comes down to the training, right? This is where you're essentially molding this digital brainchild of yours, teaching it to navigate the complexities of human language and respond in a way that's helpful and on brand.
It's kind of like those chatbot things you see popping up everywhere online, right? The ones that always seem to know what you need before you even ask.
Exactly. It's all about recognizing patterns and refining responses based on the data you feed it. The more you train it, the smarter it gets. Kind of like us, actually, but with less coffee and existential dread.
Well, hopefully less existential dread. Though now I'm a little curious if a bot could have an existential crisis.
Ooh, that's a deep thought. And probably a whole other podcast episode, honestly.
We'll save that one for the philosophers. Okay, so I'm training my bot. It's getting smarter by the minute. But are there any pitfalls I should be aware of? Should I be stockpiling backup batteries just in case?
I mean, it's always good to have backup batteries just in case, but probably not for the reasons you're thinking. This guide does a great job of walking you through those potential bumps in the road.
Like what? Give me the worst case scenario. My bot develops a sassy attitude and refuses to answer customer inquiries unless they use proper grammar.
Well, hopefully not that extreme. But it's more about fine-tuning those responses, making sure your bot is understanding intent and not just spitting back canned phrases.
So it's not just about throwing a bunch of data at it and hoping for the best.
Nope. Think of it more like training a new employee. You wouldn't just throw them into the deep end without any guidance, right? It takes time, patience, and a little bit of trial and error to get it just right.
Speaking of getting it just right, this guy didn't stop at the basics, did it? I mean, voice recognition. That seems like next-level bot wizardry.
It's crazy, right? The guide actually has a whole section on integrating voice tech, and it's surprisingly accessible. Imagine telling your bot to schedule a meeting or pull up sales data or even order a pizza, all without lifting a finger.
Okay, now you're just making me hungry, but I get your point. And suddenly, this whole bot empire idea feels less like science fiction and more like something I could actually achieve.
Right, and here's the best part. once you've built this amazing bot, this digital masterpiece, the guide doesn't just leave you hanging. It actually tells you how to make money with it.
Hold on, are you serious? There's an entire section on monetizing your bot.
Yeah.
I'm suddenly even more invested in this deep dive.
You and me both. And it's not just some vague advice about finding investors or hoping for the best. They lay out different monetization models like subscription services, premium features, even partnering with businesses to create custom solutions.
It's like they're giving you the secret recipe to bot building success. Who knew there was so much business savvy packed into this tech talk?
And here's the thing that really stood out to me. They don't shy away from the bigger picture, you know?
What do you mean? You mean like world domination? Because I'm still not ruling that out.
Well, maybe. But on a more serious note, they dive into the potential impact of this technology on society as a whole.
Okay, now you've got my attention. Let's talk about the future. What kind of bot-powered utopia, or dystopia, depending on how things go, are we looking at here? Okay, now you've got my attention. Let's talk about the future. What kind of bot-powered utopia, or dystopia, depending on how things go, are we looking at here?
Well, first things first, right? We gotta address the elephant in the room.
You mean the one who's really good at data entry and never takes a lunch break?
Exactly. The job market's gonna see some changes, that's for sure. But look, it's not all doom and gloom. Think of it more like a shift, right?
A shift towards what? Robot overlords and us humans serving them digital cocktails. Because I haven't quite mastered that skill set yet.
Okay, first of all, I need to try one of these digital cocktails you speak of. But more importantly, this is about collaboration, not domination. AI taking over those repetitive tasks that, let's be honest, none of us really enjoy anyway. That frees us up for more creative, strategic stuff.
So like, instead of fearing the robots, we should be figuring out how to work alongside them, how to leverage their strengths to boost our own productivity, and maybe even find more meaning in our work.
Now you're getting it. It's about adapting and evolving. Imagine doctors using AI to diagnose illnesses more accurately, or architects designing buildings that are both beautiful and sustainable, all thanks to a little help from their AI buddies.
Okay, now that's a future I can get behind. So less Terminator, more like a team effort to solve some of the world's biggest challenges.
Exactly. And don't even get me started on the possibilities for entrepreneurs. This guide made me realize just how big this could be. Anyone with a good idea and the willingness to learn some new tricks can build a bot and launch a business.
Talk about leveling the playing field, right?
Yeah.
No more needing massive teams or buckets of cash to get your startup off the ground.
It's like this whole world of entrepreneurship is about to blow wide open, and I don't know about you, but I'm here for it.
Okay, I'm feeling inspired. But before we wrap things up, gotta bring it back down to earth for a sec. I mean, it's not all sunshine and bot-powered rainbows, right? There's got to be some challenges, some ethical stuff we need to consider.
You're absolutely right. This guide doesn't shy away from those tougher questions either. Data privacy, bias in algorithms, making sure AI is used for good and not, turning us all into mindless consumers. These are conversations we need to be having right now.
No robot uprisings on our watchroom. Seriously, though, this has been eye-opening. Who knew we'd be diving into the ethical implications of a bot-building guide?
That's the beauty of it, isn't it? It's not just about the tech itself. It's about the potential impact on humanity. It's about making sure we're building a future that benefits everyone.
Ron said. So to everyone listening out there, here's a little something to ponder. This bot revolution, it's not some far-off fantasy. It's happening now. What role will you play in shaping it? What incredible world-changing, maybe even slightly terrifying bots will you create? The future is waiting, and it's got a lot riding on it. So let's build something amazing together and make sure we don't accidentally invent Skynet while we're at it.